Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com, and I highly recommend that you go there right now, because if you do, you can watch live Mark Singleton offer us yet another Beard Award-winning recipe Beard Award-winning chef's recipe utilizing Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Mark Singleton joins us, looking mighty festive, and I would say a rather eager evening for you, Mark. Welcome aboard. If you have to run, we'll understand.
It's a big night in the Singleton household, guys. It's a big night.
Yep,
you took some time.
You've got a grandbaby that is due any second now, right? So if you get a phone call or have to run in the middle of this, we certainly understand.
Yeah, you guys got to take over. It's grandbaby number 9. We have a full baseball team now, and we're almost working on a full 11-man football team. We are doing our part to stimulate the economy here in Texas, guys.
They are. Okay, Mark, we had an opportunity to meet Tim Byers, the author and Beard Award-winning chef from Smoke up there in Dallas a couple of weeks back. And Jason, if y'all are viewing, are taking a look at the encyclopedia that is there. And one of the unique things about Byers is, his attention and love for home-feeling foods. There's not a lot of extravagance to what Tim does, but he takes what he has and elevates it to a level that we've never seen before. And what he's done this week, now, if you'd have told me this week's recipe will include not only sauerkraut, but pasilla peppers, pasilla chilies, and cream cheese, I'd have had some questions. But once you look at it, my goodness, Mark, this is like something I'd go to the state fair for.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were looking at, guys. Our Korean kimchi barbecue pork rinds really are, kimchi is pepper-covered cabbage that's allowed to ferment in the ground. So that was the inspiration for our flavor.
Now I understand.
You get it?
All right, it's coming together.
So
the light bulb.
So we're looking for some state fair food. We were doing the exact same thing you're talking about. What would we do for the state fair? And we came up with this one last year. It is exactly what I would do. I would take cream cheese. I would roll sauerkraut, which is what kimchi is all about. Then I would coat it in our kimchi barbecue pork rinds. And then I would smoke it, fry it, or bake it. And, every week on y'all's show, I try and smoke it. Well, you can smoke this too. Our ovens our smokers are just like ovens. You hit it at 350, you stick it at 350, stick it in there for 25 minutes. All it does is get better. These things are little umami bombs. I mean, you get that cream cheese, you get that, and it's the simplest thing. I mean, we talk every week about, is it Mark proof? Man, guys, this is Mark proof. It is sauerkraut. It is cream cheese and one other ingredient, our kimchi barbecue pork rind. That's it. Now, I put a little sriracha sauce. You could put your own hot sauce. You could put green sauce on it. You could put anything. I just like the way that sriracha really sets it off. And then I also have some stone ground mustard to serve alongside it. This is one of the best, craziest, tastiest recipes we've ever shown y'all. And once again, it is totally Mark-proof. I could make this in my sleep. And since we're waiting on a baby, y'all know how much time I had today. This was literally 15 minutes of prep.
Well, all right,
15 minutes.
15 minutes you prep, you put them in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes, and then you've got a fantastic dish ready to go. So, if you're in a hurry, boom, there it is. And that's stuff that people have in the house. I mean, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, all you do is you crush your pork rinds just like you normally would. You take 8 ounces of cream cheese. You take 14 ounces of sauerkraut. You take about a half a bag of pork rinds, crush them up, and mix them in there, and stick it in your fridge. I need it to set up so I can mold it into balls. If you try and do it right then, it's just, too hot and it won't mold. Right. So you sit it in the fridge for about 4 hours. Take it out about 30 minutes before you want to serve it. Make your balls. The other half of the bag you rolled up and put aside. You crush them. Roll the pork rinds in that. And guys, Serve it with sriracha, and look at this. This is a cheesy, sour, sweet, hot, bacony bite. You can make up a half a dozen of them.
My concern would be when I first saw it, if I was looking at it, the consistency thing. I wouldn't want it to be just soft and, ugh. But the thing that I'm finding consistently with these pork rinds is as you use them as a crust, as you use them as that layer, they maintain the crunch that you had right out of the bag, and it adds that extra bit of consistency, you know what I mean? That really takes things over the edge that you're not accustomed to. And if you're on a keto diet and you haven't had any of the crust that we love so much, it is here. It is those pork rinds that you can plug in so many different ways. Go to porkrindrecipes.com. Go to southernrecipesmallbatch.com. You will see a lot of recipes that apply this, and it changes the game if you're in a keto lifestyle.
And I read every one of our emails, Rob, and you see them along with me. And every time and time again, people talk about how cooking with pork rinds, how using this as an everyday part of their lifestyle has this being their substitute for popcorn on Friday night movie night is helping them achieve some lifelong goals for weight loss, for healthier lifestyles. And that's not always been recognized. And it's just amazing the feedback we get and the great recipes we get from those, from our fans and your listeners.
Yeah, it's incredible watching, seeing these, trying these. I've tried a number of these recipes. One that we haven't talked about yet, but I know you do. It's the same kind of thing Rob's talking about. You're looking for a good snack. Just take some trail mix in some pork rinds with that so you still get the crunch you want. Like if you were going to grab a bag of chips, trail mix doesn't necessarily do it for me. But when you add in some pork rinds into that, that does take it to a different level and satisfies that crunch that you're looking for. And you get the great taste of bacon. Especially the pasilla chili cheese are fast. Well, they've become my favorite go-to brand.
Mark Singleton.
Go ahead, Robo.
I was just going to set you up again.
About salty and sweet and sour. And this recipe hits all those taste buds. I really encourage your listeners to try it. It's so simple, and I think it'll knock your socks off.
It certainly has. Mark Singleton of Southern Recipes Small Batch Pork Rinds. This is just one of many recipes that we have talked about. I want you to go to porkrindrecipes.com, Southern Recipes Small Batch Pork Rinds. You will find a myriad of different recipes. Some involve elevating the chip itself. Some involve different dips and sauces that you might be after as you chase that crunch that so many of us miss. But above and beyond that, what the pork rind has essentially become is your everyday thing that you can use in so many different ways. And what you have done, Mark, is added those extra flavors that kind of kick things up. Like you're using the kimchi on the cabbage. My idea was to go with because it makes perfect sense. But what if I threw in a little bit of spicy dill on that sauerkraut? What if I added the persilla chili onto that sauerkraut and changed that little dynamic of the flavoring? That all comes exclusively. And then, yes, apple cinnamon. For those of us that look for a little bit of sweet and can't go there, the apple cinnamon pork rind was another thing that I went, well, okay, let me try it. And it works. You would not believe it, but it does work. That mix of cinnamon and just enough sugar to kind of hold it together, I can't imagine that with some cream cheese and maybe a little bit of caramel dipping sauce to go along with that. Oh, my goodness.
I'm trying that in the next 5 minutes, Rob. Great idea. It's all in the fridge. I'll let you know.
Mark Singleton, Grandpappy number 9 on his way tonight. Mark, it's always a pleasure catching up with you, and congratulations to you and yours. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll catch up next week as we go through the Quarantine 15. This is a way to kind of moderate for all those keto types. Mark, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Be safe. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, we don't have to eat bad to eat well, brother. Be good.
Can I trademark that? Can we steal that? Can we take that from him?
It was said on our show. He's absolutely right.
I think so. I'm all about theft. We call it research. Mark Singleton right here on ESPN San Antonio. I can't stress enough. Go try this. If you're listening to us on the regular and you're like, this sounds interesting, once you look at the website, once you see the pictures, you're going to want to try it. And like Mark continues to say, it's Mark proof. You can do it.